Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Troy. I'm here for a bit of a unique unboxing, and excuse my crazy hair. I've not long got back from the pool and I haven't been bothered to do anything apart from jump out of the shower, and it's just dried this way. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at, I've received something that I've received from a pledge. It was via Kickstarter. And this is for the Catapult Feud Hydra Kickstarter. I jumped in on a couple of Kickstarters and games on GameFound back in March this year, and then had to stop because I was quickly spending money that I shouldn't have been spending. It's a bit of a trick to get into. So I bought a few games, I pledged a few games, and then stopped. So this is the first game that's turned up at the house though. So this is now. It's basically September, so just started September, and the Catapult Feud Hydra game, you can see there that I pledged that in on the 19th of March. So we've now received this box, and welcome to my my wife's massage room. So we're actually going to be doing the unboxing on the massage table. So we're going to have a look at what's inside this box very shortly. Now this successful pledge bought in, I think, around about $520,000. There was over 3,000 backers, and my pledge was 265 Australian, 180 US. So let's have a look and see what that's got me. All right, one of these days I'm going to get myself a decent setup. This is all just with the phone. So this is the box. We've got a heap of gear in there. So let's start unpacking it all. So first of all, there's a couple of a couple of mats, game mats there. So we'll have a look at those. We've also got the Catapult Feud Artifacts Tower Expansion set. There's the Catapult Feud The War of the Floor Has Begun Once More. Catapult Feud Siege Expansion Set. This is the Catapult Feud Volcano Expansion Set. Catapult Feud Hydra Expansion Set. This would be the Catapult Feud Viking Expansion Set. We've got the Catapult Feud various bricks and so on there. And there's a couple more packs in here. We've got the Royal Base Smelly Fish ammo, an action card, and a rule book in there, so a bit of ammo. There's, what's this one here? This is some more ammo. This is the Secret Santa rules ammo. Some more ammo. This is dice ammo. And we've got more traditional ammo here. These are 20 boulders and 4 elastic bands. So that is the whole lot. Let's spread that out and get a better look. Okay, so obviously we start with the game. We've got the base game there. We've got a Catapult Feud Expansion. We've got Siege Expansion there. That first one there was a Tower Expansion. We've got the Hydra Expansion, the Viking Expansion. We've got the Volcano Expansion, which actually look pretty cool, I've got to say. We've got those couple of play mats there. We've got these extra castle and wall pieces here. And then we've got some specialized different ammo sets here. And then we've got the base ammo set here with the boulders and so on. So that's basically, that's the whole lot. So if you look at that, that's quite a lot of gear. $265, but you know what, I don't think I needed to spend that much because I'm really only going to play this with 2 of my kids, maybe 3. Anyway, let's have a look at the actual boxes themselves. Okay, it's quite satisfying actually. The very first time I've opened this up, let's have a look and see what's inside. There we go. So we've got ourselves the components and game objective, what's inside it, various different things, advanced game setup and so on. So, and this is what's inside the actual box itself. So a couple of look like terrain pieces there. Some fairly basic figurines and some boulders in there as well, and some elastic bands. So I like these guys. They're pulling a face, basically taunting the enemy. So we've got those. Now there's some cards there as well, for obviously for the gameplay. A few extra little tiles here. I'll do a play test with this later. So I've got no idea. I haven't watched any videos of how this game is played. It just sounded really interesting. I thought, well, I'll definitely be keen to give it a go. And under there we go. There's our catapult. So obviously those elastic bands are for using with the catapult. So that's one of our catapults. Where am I going to put that? I'll pop that down there. And then this one will be the other catapult, no doubt. And there it is. That's the other catapult. So let's pop those there. And so in here, you would have to assume is the components. Ah, yes. So you can see that. So there's our components for building the castle. So there'll be, I'm going to believe that there's going to be a set on either side. I've got to say, yep, so you've got to take the whole thing out. And there we go, set on either side. So that's our basic game set. So we've got catapults, we've got the pieces for building our castles. So whether you're yellow or grey, I think I'd have to side with the grey, more traditional colour. Got a couple of cards there for gameplay, and then we've got the figurines. Let's have a closer look at these figurines. So we've got this character here, the taunting character. Obviously that comes in both. We've also got one of the defenders of the castle, and you've got, it's going to get knocked over by the big boulder, the boulders that are being fired at the castle by the catapult. So like with the boulders, how they're not just round, they are deliberately boulderish. They're a little bit off. You can see the sort of deliberate imperfections in these when they were cast. So I love that. I love that look about the game. And the bands, so the bands, these are not just your average lucky band, although assuming if these eventually break, you'd have to make do, but they're really strong, and you've got a fair bit of, they're obviously made to specifically for the game. They'll work well. So the yellow faction is made up of 5 figurines, and they're all the taunting style figurines. Whereas the grey team, a little bit more serious, as they're all standing with their pose, their swords there, armour at the ready. So the grey army 5 figurines as well. Now these are the action cards. So there's 16 different action cards. They all got that on the back. So different ones, and I'll be keen to see exactly how to use these. But yeah, look, I think this is going to be a heap of fun to play with my kids, which is the reason why I got it. I usually get obviously more serious game, but this is really more of a toy than anything else. So yeah, I went in the whole lot. I basically got sucked into, First time I've ever done a game found. This isn't game found, sorry. This is, what was this one? Kickstarter. And I went a little bit too heavy in, but look, I'm going to have fun with it. So we can see there, we've got the playing boards, 2 catapults, got the boulders, figurines, and the different types of building materials for each set, and the action cards. And these things here are some sort of measuring device. So we'll see how that comes into play. But yeah, that's it. That's the basic set. So that's pretty neat. Now we'll have a look at the expansion set. So I'm just packing this away. It's actually packing away a lot easier than I thought. That just slips in there. That's the base bit. You put the catapults in. You put this bit in. Drop your cards in. Drop your markers. And there we go. That actually packs away really quite easily. Okay, now we're going to move on to the I can't even say it properly, Artificers Tower. So let's have a look at that and see what is in here. So that's what's on the back. We've got build towers, launch beehives, drive the plunger. So that looks pretty cool. So obviously some sort of battering ram technique there. So I'll get this open. So what I'm liking about this, if it's correct what it says on the game, it's 30 to 45 minutes and ages 7 and up. So my kids will definitely be able to play this. It looks like a lot of fun. It looks like something I will enjoy playing with them. So once again, we've got the overview here, and you can see what it contains. So we've got the plunger weapon, the action cards, beehive ammo, the tower bricks, mini bricks and so on, tower ramparts. So let's check it all out and see what that looks like. So looks like we've got some of our bits there already. So there's our beehives in there, and that's our rams. We've got some more action cards here, so we'll have a look at those in a sec. And do we just lift this up like we did last time? Yep, so that lifts straight out, and there we go. So that's, look at that. That's pretty neat. So that obviously fits together with the ram, and then we've got our building parts here. So let's check this out. All right, so what I like about this is we've got some parapets now, so we can actually start building some round towers, which are pretty cool. And this is my mighty plunger. So I've got it set up, ready to go. I've got it loaded. It's quite easy. See ram's head in there. Now, I thought this was more of a battering ram, but it's really just another firing mechanism. So you pull that back and fire, and the option now is that we can load it with these beehives and fire them off. So now you need to put one of your troops on the driving seat, so they sit at the back there as you're using your plunger in battle. So that's obviously from the main set, which you need to use this. I've got to go and retrieve that beehive in a second. So yeah, there we have. We've got the 2 catapults there. We've got the parapets, different ones. We've got the beehive animation. I'll give you a closer look at that. These are nice and soft. So if one of these is going to fly up and beam you in the head, it's not really going to cause you much damage. Although maybe this is one of those games where it doesn't fire off at a great velocity. So unless people are going to be really silly with it, I think you're going to be fine. There's our cards for the expansion set, so they're pretty cool. And these are pretty much to do with the plunger and the beehives there. So various different ones, the broken wheel. So, and I'm just having a look at some of the instructions, and they are fairly simple. It's really just about knocking down your opponent's castle and decimating his troops. It looks like a lot of fun. So one of the things I've noticed already is this one is a little bit harder to pack away. So I would imagine it's probably not going to take too long before it ends up like I've done here, because these bits are supposed to be under there. But I can't imagine my kids or even myself being too bothered to put that away exactly as it's supposed to go. So that is the Catapult Feud Artificers Tower. Artificers Tower. Artificers Tower. So that's one of the expansions. Expansion 2, and this is the Catapult Feud Siege expansion. So let's have a look at that. We have a look on the back. We've got some more figurines there. That's pretty cool. And a fortress and a ballista, which is pretty neat. So a bit of a fan of those. So let's check this out. It says in the contents there, 10 miniatures, 8 bricks, 4 gates, 12 parapets, 2 ballistas, 4 boulders, and some more cards. So let's check this one out. So the boxes are really quite well made as well. So there we go. Expansion overview, but we've had a look. I like the way that looks like it's going to set up. It looks like it's quite substantial, doesn't it? And this one's pretty packed, so a lot more figurines in there. We've got the, once again, the grey and the yellow figurines. So let's pull them out and have a quick look. So we've got female characters this time. Whoopsie. And we've got, looks like we've got 5 of each. So same as before. So this is the yellow figurine. And 5 of those. And this is the grey. Quite different. I like that they've gone with different figurines for the different factions, although I would like to have seen a bit of variation, like they're literally 5 of the same of these and 5 of these. It would have been nice to have a bit of variation, I think. Okay, so here's our ballista in here. Needs to be put together. Got our boulders, we've got our elastic bands, and we've got whatever those things are, and some more boulders. Now we'll have a look in there. So there's our siege material. So these are the components to actually put together the, what's it called, the Chauffort gate. So that's to put the gate together, and it'll be the same on this side, no doubt. Oh no, what do we have here? These must be parts of our ballista, I would assume. So yes, all right, so that makes more sense because it was looking a bit basic before. Let's see if we can put one of these together. Now, I didn't show you in the last one, so the instructions are in the box, and they're very simple. There's also videos that you can watch to help you put it together if you have difficulty. So apart from the elastic band, there's 3 parts. So there's the base of the ballista. There's the barrel. These are really solid, I have to say. Like, they have used solid plastic when they've made this in all the parts. And then there's the seat. So you'd have to assume that's where one of our characters sits. With these, you've got to do a bit of threading. So you've got to get the elastic band and you have to thread it through. But the holes are quite big and the bands are quite thick. So it's not super difficult. Is it going to make a liar out of me? No, there we go. See, that's gone through quite good. And I'm not the most nimble person around. Okay, so there it is. So I have to admit, I found that a little bit frustrating, and actually was very simple to go together once you know how. So that's how the seat is supposed to go. So that's basically so you can pull it back and fire. And like, I like the way they've done it. It's not a dangerous thing to use. So that's pretty cool. So obviously you put your boulders inside there, and away you fire. So pull it back and and out it shoots. So once again, the idea is to knock over those walls. So that's pretty cool. So that is the Catapult Feud Siege. So you got 2 of these, plus the different siege buildings that you use. You've got extra figurines, and you've also got a bit more ammo there, so that's pretty neat. And one more thing, the cards. So once again, different artwork. I like that there's different artwork for the different siege packs, for the different expansion packs, and yeah, there we go. It'll be, once again, this seems to come up quite a bit, so that must be one of the main ones. So it's going to be interesting to see how these cards all pan out, what they're all for. Yeah, looking forward to playing this with the kids once again. So there we have it, Catapult Feud. So that's expansion 2. Now we're going to move on to a different type of expansion, and that is Catapult Feud Hydra Expansion. There it is. And I think this is a pretty simple one. This is basically a toy. So before I crack it open, there's the contents there. 1 Hydra, 4 Fireballs, 6 cards, 1 rulebook. So just open up there. That's when they say rulebook, this is what they mean. It's nothing too extravagant there. Once again, there's the how to assemble. And there's our Hydra. And the extra, oh, boy, there's some weight in these. So that's the extra head, which obviously sits in there somehow. And there we go. And that will be pulled back, and it fires like the catapult does. So yeah, that's not bad. Loving the Hydra. It's, you know, it's detailed enough for the kids to play with. And then the only other addition or extra bit is this box here, which contains the ammo and the cards. So we've got our, okay, so with the fireball, just some red versions of the boulders that we looked at earlier, and some more elastic bands. And we'll open these cards and have a look. Once again, some cool artwork. And there's our game cards with the Hydra. Not a super large amount. This is obviously a fairly easy to insert expansion into the main game, I would say. So our next expansion is the Volcano. And once again, it's basically another toy. This is a rolling style one, so we'll have a look at that. Let's see if there's some inclusions on the box. There we go. So we've got 1 Volcano, 4 Fireballs, 12 cards, and a rulebook. Very similar to the Hydra. I like the way that looks though. That's pretty cool. So it shows you also how it sort of fits in with the main game. Let's open her up. One thing I've noticed is there's a fair bit of weight in all of these. Like there's a lot of, there's not cheap, lightweight materials. You can tell by the weight of the box. There we go, there's our components there. There's obviously the how-tos all there. There's a little bit more detailed information there with the card references, what different ones do. So I'm liking that. Actually got a bit of foam protection in this one. There we go. Like it's actually as big as a diffuser that I had in my kids' room. So wow, that is solid. I reckon that would weigh a few kilos. That's pretty cool. Maybe 2 kilos. And underneath there's our fireballs. There. And we've got our cards. Let's have a look at cards. Loving the art on those. So they look pretty nice, and there's our cards that go with the Volcano. Like that one there. Look at that. That's pretty neat. So yeah, I think once you get the idea of how this game is played, I would imagine it looks like it's pretty simple. All right, now these fireballs, these ones here, these are heavy. You would not want them loaded in the other ones. The other boulders are quite light. That's not. That's a heavy marble. So we drop it in there, and it's random. It fires off. It's going to will it make a layer out of me? It is. It's firing out the same side. There we go. The other side. So you can load it whichever way you want, but it's random. I noticed that before. That stuck last time I put that in there. Whoopsie. We've got a stuck fireball. That's not great, is it? So what do? We're going to put more in. Let's chuck it in the other side. Yeah, that rolls well. That one there, that's jamming in there somewhere. We'll have to... I can hear it. There we go. So that's a bit of an issue. So there's our first quality flaw, I'd say. So I just fired another one in there, and that came out. You can hear that rolling around. You can hear that solid. That came out, so that was not a problem. But that's obviously not going to... Oh, there we go. It's cleared the obstruction, so that's going quite well now. Okay, now we're coming down to the last of the expansion. This is the Viking Expansion. Once again, another firing type of weaponry. So on a bit more artwork on the back. Let's see if this says what's in the box. It does on this side here. So there we go. Contents: 8 miniatures, 1 Viking longboat, 8 boulders, 12 cards, 1 rulebook. Might be a bit of a fight over who owns the longboat. Let's see how this pans out. That's our longboat. So another good solid piece of gaming equipment. These are not going to break easily, remembering that these are basically for kids to play with, and they are not going to break that or any of these things in a hurry. This is the rest of the gear that comes in the kit. So here's our figurines. So perhaps these are a new faction altogether. I suspect that they might be. So let's have a look. There we go. That's our Viking. And that's our other variant there. So male and female again. And quite formidable looking. So you get 12. Okay, so this one here, the elastic does fit through there, but it is a little bit clumsy to do. So it'll only take me a few minutes to do, but I am running out of battery on my phone, so I'm not going to do that. So there we go. That shows you how it works. And now, boom, she fires out there. So once again, pretty cool. And here we go with the cards. So Viking specialty cards. So here we go. All the ones for the Viking expansion. Once again, very great art. Art that the kids are going to enjoy, and you know, anyone that plays this game, this is going to be, I think, a good game to play with my children. Now, if you bought the Kickstarter, you also got these neoprene mats. So these are obviously some battle mats, so to place your, you know, when you're building your castle or your gates or towers or whatever, you can build them on these. So that's one of the neoprene mat sets. And this is the other one. Well, this is really nice. So we've got the ocean, and then the volcano setting, and then we've got our land over here. So that's a really nice, I love that. That's really cool. That's actually nice for a bar runner. Maybe I'll do that. Coming down to the end now. So we've got our special fish new action card. We've got our special fish action cards. And we've got it feels like a rubber, like what you like a novelty rubber some sort of a ring thing there. So Royals mode. Okay, so that's our extra, one of the extras that you get when you do like a Kickstarter or a game found. You get, once a game raises so much money, you get these expansions. So that's one of the expansions that we got. This is the dice ammo, like stretch goal there. So once again, feels like a novelty rubber, which is good, nice and safe. And there's some extra cards that go along with that. So yeah, there we go. So that's basically it. We've got the original game there. So that's a game, that's a complete game. And really that's probably all I needed, but I spent 260 bucks. So I've got the Catapult Feud game. I've got the Siege expansion pack. I've got the Artificers Tower expansion pack, and you want to introduce these, I think, play that and then introduce these one at a time. I've also got the Catapult Feud expansion. I've got the Viking expansion, which basically looks like a whole new set of characters that I can introduce, perhaps 3 players, I'm not sure, I'll have to have a look. The Catapult Feud, and then we're down to our stretch goals. So we've got our extra ammo there. We've got, sorry, not extra ammo, we've got our extra building there, extra ammo here. So a big stack of extra boulders and elastic bands. We've got some various dice and smelly fish and so on for ammunition and some cards. And then our excellent neoprene landscapes and so on. So these obviously are a lot nicer than what comes in the actual original box. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Kickstarter for Catapult Feud. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, thinking about watching a few more. I'm going to be doing various reviews. Some of them are games, some of them are reviews on health, and some of them are going to be about some of the places that I'm going to stay with the family. So hey, check it out, and I'll play this with the kids in a little while, and we can see what I think about the gameplay. Thanks everyone.